Good morning. My name is Emanuela. This is Sunny, and we are going to do a yoga class today. Doesn't seem like he's too interested. How's everyone doing? It's raining, but it's supposed to be nice for the next, week or two, I think I heard. So yeah, a little bit of rain brings out the sunshine. It's all good. So let's get started. Today's class is going to be a little more gentle. So if you want to grab a block or a strap, you might need that today, but it's going to be more stretching. Alrighty. So let's get started. Come to seated. I'm also going to grab a strap. So make your way onto your mat, finding a comfortable cross-seated position, and take your hands to your knees. Let your palms turn up. Let your first finger and thumb touch, and this is going to help to circulate the positive energy within you. Allow your eyes to close. Feel your foundation through your pelvis on your mat. And feel the length of your spine as you reach your crown up to the sky. As you do the lengthening of your spine, feel the widening of your back. And as you're exhaling, start to draw strength into your center line, pulling the sides of your body in towards your core. And as you inhale, feel that expansion again. So you're getting taller and you're getting wider with your breath. And as you're exhaling, you're getting stronger. Feel that pull into your center line. Bring your hands to your heart center. And let's remind ourselves why we're here and what we want to get out of this practice. Knowing that you have the whole day ahead of you to achieve your goals. And this practice is to help set that intention through your physical body and also through your mind. So visualize what goal you want to achieve today. Set that in your mind. And smile at all the opportunities that you have. Let's open the eyes and inhale. Reach the arms up. Round the back as we exhale, knuckles reach forward, pointing the tailbone forward, opening up the back. Inhale to come up, lift the chin, arch the back, flip the palms, look up. Exhale and round. As you're rounding, really reach with the knuckles, pulling the spine to the wall behind you. Inhale to come up, lift the palms, lift the chin, arch the back. Exhale and round. As we inhale, coming back up to center, reaching the arms up to the ceiling. Right hand comes down beside you and the left arm reaches over. Turn your gaze towards the left inner elbow. Big breath into your left side. Stay here for the exhale. See if you can get a little bit lower onto that right elbow. Inhale to come back up. Reach both arms up. Side bend to the left as we exhale, and take your time. We'll be here for a couple breaths. And feel yourself getting a little bit longer through that right side of the body. Breathing into the right side lung. Feeling your exhale, squeezing your lower belly. Inhale to come back up to center, reach both arms up. Exhale, take the hands down. We're moving into table pose. When you get to your table pose, get your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. As we inhale, lift the chin and the tailbone, looking up. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, lift the chin, lift the tailbone. Exhale and round. We're trying to get some movement in between the joints of the spine. Inhale to arch the back, look up. Exhale and round. Now let's tuck the toes and move into downward dog. When you get there, start to pedal the feet, lifting one heel as the other lowers. And take your time. We're trying to get movement into the toes, the calves, and the backs of the knees. And let's hold to neutral. Take your feet as wide as your mat and rock the hips side to side. Keep pressing your armpits back towards your ankles so you're getting longer into the chest. And as you rock side to side, we're trying to open up the outer edges of the thighs, the outer edges of the ankles. Keep going for 3 more. And now let's hold neutral, bring your knees down, knees are wide, toes come in and sit back into a wide knee child's pose. Your belly will fall towards the mat between your thighs. Arms reach forward and lift the chin so that we're doing a puppy stretch, opening up through the throat, opening up through the armpits. Big breath into the upper back, upper chest. Stay here for the exhale. Let yourself soften into the shape. Inhale, come up onto the elbows. Bring your knees together. Lengthen the legs long on your mat. Taking your chest down towards the elbows and lifting the sternum so that you're in your Sphinx pose. Tops of the feet push down. And think about lengthening your tailbone towards your heels. We're trying to get the collarbones wide and the crown tall. Spread the fingers, big inhale. With the exhale, just slightly start to bend or straighten the elbows. They can still remain bent, but as you straighten them, you'll notice you're getting more depth into the opening of the back. So go to what feels good to you. Notice if you're tightening through the glutes. See if you can just allow movement into the spine. Try not to compress the spine. Take 1 more breath in. Exhale to lower the chest down. Take your hands under your shoulders and coming back up to table pose. When you get to your table pose, again, find your knees under your hips. Hands under your shoulders. Take your right fingertips to your right ear so the elbow reaches to the right. As we inhale, the right elbow goes up to the ceiling. Look to the right wall. Exhale, the right elbow tucks under the left armpit. We're getting into the thoracic spine. Inhale to come back up, elbow towards the ceiling, gaze to the right wall. Exhale, tuck it under the left armpit. Squeeze your upper abdominals. 1 more. Inhale, bring it up. Opening through the chest. Keep pushing yourself out of your left wrist and shoulder. Exhale, tuck the elbow underneath the armpit. Take your right hand back down to the mat and find your table pose. Reset so you're equal through the hands and the knees. And when you're ready, the left hand to the left elbow, ear. Left elbow goes up to the ceiling. Look at the left wall. This side might feel different. Exhale and tuck the left elbow under your right armpit. Inhale to bring it up. As you do so, push yourself out of the floor with your right hand. Exhale, tuck the left elbow under and squeeze your upper abdominals. Good job. 1 more. Inhale, take it out and up. Push yourself out of that right shoulder. Exhale, tuck the left elbow under the right armpit. Good job. Inhale, the left hand comes down. Tuck your toes under and start to walk your hands back. So we end up with the hips on the heels. Notice the toes are tucked under, and we're doing this to get some space in the toes. This might be enough for you here. If you want a little bit more of a stretch to the toes, you can come up and sit right onto the heels. The hands can rest on the thighs. Notice here, sometimes if it's too much, you'll start to tense, you'll start to tighten. So be aware, make it something comfortable enough that you can hold, but challenging enough that you can get past any tightness or restriction. A big inhale, and again, we're widening all the way through the ribs, through the crown. And with the exhale, let's start walking the hands forward once again. This time we're moving ourselves back up into downward dog. Find your stability in your hands and equal that feet. The legs are just as strong as the arms, and both sides of the spine are equally long. A big breath in here. As we exhale, walk your feet to the front of your mat. So we come into a forward fold. Toes are pointing forward. Inhale to come up to stand. Reach the arms up. Give yourself a slight back bend, looking up. Exhale, take your hands to heart and squeeze through your abdominal wall. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. As you're folding, bend the knees a little or more if you need that. Hands stay down and step your right toes back. Right knee comes down. Untuck the right toes, take your hands to your left knee. Now, as you're here, notice that right hip. We're trying to get into the right hip flexor. We're strengthening through the left glute. Make sure that your left toes are spread so that your foundation is malleable and you're not gripping the mat. Take your right arm up to the ceiling and start to back bend a little or a lot, whatever feels good to that right hip. Notice, try to pull your right hip a little forward and your left hip a little back. Take one more breath in. Think about bringing your sternum forward, forward, forward. Exhale, right hand down. Tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee. Inhale here. Right foot next to the left as we exhale, coming back to the front of the mat. Inhale to stand, arms reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring your hands to your heart so that you're strong in the chest and the back equally. Inhale, reach the arms up long and tall. Exhale, fold. So as you're folding, your core is engaged, hands touch down. Left foot steps back. Knee comes down and untuck the left toes. Find your hands on your right knee. You can stay here. We're trying to open up that left hip flexor. So think about drawing left hip forward, right hip back. Crown is tall, right hand on the right knee. As you do so, we're opening up the chest. The more you lean back, the more access you will get, but make sure it's something that you can control. The whole body is open. The breath is still calm. Big inhale into the chest. Exhale, both hands come down. Tuck your left toes under. Lift the left knee, inhale. Left foot steps next to the right. Exhale to fold at the front of the mat. Inhale to stand, reaching both arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart. Press your palms together so you're active in your chest and in your back. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Soft bend or deep bend in the knees. Inhale to step both feet back to plank. Lengthen through the back of the neck. If you need to, knees are down. Exhale, slowly lower the chest. Inhale to cobra. And exhale to high cobra. We've been here before. Deep breath in, arch the back. Exhale, lower the chest. Pressing into the palms and inhale it to child's pose. Sit your bum back. This time you can keep the knees closer together and you'll get more of a rounding of the back. The arms reaching as far away from you as you can. And then start walking your hands to the right, outside of your mat. So we're getting into a side bend. Let your left hip press towards the left heel. Breathe into your left rib cage. Your head can rest on your mat, or you can take your head to rest on your right forearm. Big breath into that left side. Really stretch the body from inside out. Notice if you can dip your hips a little closer to your heels. Slow, walk the hands over to the left. Right arm reaching as far away from you as you can, and then sink your right hip towards your right heel. Breathe into that right side. Feel that exhale, sinking your right hip, your right armpit towards your mat. Breathing into that right lung. Next, inhale, coming back through center. Table pose, lift your hips, tuck your toes, and we're moving to the toe tuck. If you want, hands stay close to your knees or walk your hands onto your thighs. Do what feels right. I know this is a really intense posture for a lot of us, but it will loosen up the more you practice, and the benefit is so good for your whole body, even though you're just stretching through the ankles. Take your hands behind your back, if you have them on your thighs, and then start to lift your chin. Reach your knuckles towards the floor. If you have your hands in table, that's okay too. Stay there. Take one more breath in. Exhale to release the hands, tuck the chin, and walk your hands towards the front of your mat. Downward dog. As you're here, grounding into the hands and feet equally. Big breath in, widen your rib cage. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. Inhale to stand, reaching the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Stepping the right foot back as we inhale. Exhale, plant the right foot and moving into warrior two. Now, as we get into our warrior two, this is a great pose for helping to open up the inner thighs, as well as strengthening through the shoulders. The legs are equally active. Left knee is bent, right knee is straight. Now think about where your pelvis is and think about getting it squared to the floor. So sometimes one hip will be higher than the other. You want to equalize both feet, widening away from your midline. Tailbone draws down. Take a big inhale. As we exhale, right hand comes to the front of the mat, right toes turn forward, and step the right foot next to the left. Inhale, come up to stand, arms reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Left foot steps back. Plant the foot. Left toes are turned to the left wall, and let's take the left arm up and moving into warrior two. Square your pelvis. Get the collarbones square to the floor. Shoulder blades are drawn back. Tailbone is drawn down. Take a big breath in. Spread the toes of both feet equally. Exhale, hands to the front of the mat. Left toes turn forward. Right foot steps back. Hold here into your plank. Inhale. Lower down as we exhale. Cobra or high cobra. Inhale. Downward dog. Exhale. Walk your feet to the center of your mat and fold into the legs. Inhale to stand. Arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Stay here, grounding into the feet equally. Taking your hands to your hips, stepping your right toes out to the right. Soft bend in that left knee. Again, pelvis is steady and square to the floor. Taking the arms all the way up, interlace the fingers. And as we exhale, side bend the upper body over to the left. And then when you're ready, if you want, start to lift the right toes. Right leg is just as strong as the left. Keep spreading the toes of the left foot. Tuck your lower belly in. Big inhale. Exhale, come back to neutral. Hands to heart. Right foot next to left. And equalize the effort through the legs. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to the hips. Soft bend in the right knee. And left toes step out to the left. Strong through the left leg. Strong through your abdominal wall. Inhale the arms up. Interlace the fingers and exhale. Side bend to the right. Left armpit draws back. And when you're ready, left toes can lift. If you're having enough time of a challenge with the toes on the mat, stay there. Right glute is active, right knee softly bent. Spread the toes of your right foot. Deep breath in. Exhale, left foot comes down, hands come to heart. Good job. Inhale here, reset, grounding into the feet equally. Stay here for the exhale, firm your lower belly. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, come down to table and swing the feet to one side so we make our way to seated. The legs long in front. Taking the heels to the edges of your mat. Legs are straight and strong. Take your arms directly forward, interlacing the fingers. As we inhale, reach with the knuckles. And as we exhale, go back. So you're rounding your lower back and we're strengthening the core. Inhale, reach forward, long through the arms. Exhale, go back and round your tailbone. So you're really squeezing your abdominals. Inhale, go forward, long arms. Exhale and go back. Strong core. 2 more like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, go back. 1 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, go back. Inhale, coming up to neutral. Lean to the left and bend your right knee. So we've got the right ankle to the outside of the right hip. Knee is pointing forward, toes are pointing back. We're trying to access the right ankle. If you want more intensity, start leaning back. And the further you go back, the more intensity you will create of a stretch into that right hip flexor. If you find that you go so far back that your knee pops up, that's too much. So if that's the case, just come back up and try to keep the right knee on your mat. We want to make sure that the body is stretched, but enough that you can still breathe comfortably in the posture. Visualize that you can see the energy of your breath moving through the body down into that right knee and right toes. And feel your exhale is allowing a release of any excess tension that you don't need to be there. And with the next inhale, if you've laid down or back, then come up. Lean to the left, and now we take the right foot inside the straight left leg. Square the chest over the left thigh and fold. Think about the crown of your head reaching to the left toes. As you're breathing, get wider into your back, into your ribs. Stay low and walk your hands to the right. Continue walking your hands to the right as your right hand goes behind you on your mat, and lift your left arm, lift your hips, and swing your arm to the wall behind you. Try to get your chest to the ceiling and push down into the left foot. Strong glutes. Inhale. Exhale to lower the hips down. Take your right leg straight forward. Lean right and bend the left knee. So the top of the foot comes to the outer edge of the thigh. You can stay here, square yourself down. If it's too much, you can use your block underneath your right hip. That will give you a lift and less intensity of the stretch. You can also lean to the right. That'll take some of the intensity out of the ankle, or you can lean back and intensify it more. So you choose what works best. Make sure that you're moving to make the body feel better. We're not forcing anything in the movement. And then again, one side's gonna feel different than the other. So how does this feel? No judgment, just awareness. We're not trying to get it done. We wanna be in the present movement, in the present breath. As you're exhaling, feel your body let go a little bit, accepting that movement, accepting that energy, knee and foot. One more big breath in. Exhaling, coming up, take your time, ground into your right hand, so you're leaning to the right, take your left foot in and square your chest over the right thigh. We've got the left foot into the right inner thigh. Start to fold over the right leg. Breathe into the back. Now we'll stay low, just walk your hands to the left. Continue walking the hands so that the left hand lands on your mat behind you. Point your right toes and sweep the right arm to the back wall as you lift your hips to the ceiling. Ground into your right foot and left hand equally. Deep breath in. Exhale, lower the hips down, taking both knees into the chest as we lie onto the back. Hands to the knees and rocking side to side. Coming to center, taking your left foot to the mat and your right heel to the ceiling. Walking your hands up the leg, we're trying to open up the hamstring. If you want, you can use your strap or a towel to hold the right ankle, the right foot. If you're using a strap, try not to pull with your elbows. So allow your hands to be holding the strap, but your elbows to be soft. Now we're staying here. When you're ready, the right arm goes out to the right. We're still holding the strap around the right foot. If you don't have your strap, take your right hand to hold your ankle, your calf, or your right knee. You're using just a little bit of effort to help bring the right leg down towards the floor. Notice your left hip may lift, so you can use your left hand on the front left hip to help guide it down. Breathing into the right inner thigh. Let the upper back relax and let your wide. And as you're exhaling, feel the softness coming into that right hip. And with the next inhale, let's come back up to center, taking the strap off of the right foot comes down and switch. So hands on your left foot or holding your strap around the left foot. Let your upper back be relaxed, and when you're ready, taking the left leg out to the left and the right hand holding the front right hip. Notice here we want to stay open into that left inner thigh, but also grounded on the right low back. So there's going to be a little bit of a play between your left leg going down and your right low back going down. We try to balance that out. Breathing into that left inner thigh. Notice if you're tensing the left glute. Next inhale, coming back up, taking the strap off of the foot. Bring both knees into the chest. Forehead comes up to meet the knees, squeeze it in. Inhale to release your head down. Take your palms right down so that they're grounded and toes are pointing forward. With the inhale, start to lift the hips, lift the back, grounding into the feet, and shoulder blades are grounded down. Spread your toes and equalize the effort from your feet all the way through the hamstrings, the hips, the spine, and the backs of the shoulders. There's equal effort throughout the whole body. Think about pointing your tailbone up to your knees, strengthening through the glutes, strengthening through the hamstrings. Take a big breath in. Exhale to lower slow, taking your right ankle up to the ceiling and then take the ankle to the left thigh. We're opening up the right hip. If you want, stay here, or left knee comes into the chest and hands hold the left shin. Mainly upper back. If you find that when you reach the knee, you're back starts to arch, then just hold your hands onto your belly or beside you. You don't have to pull yourself into the shape. This is to help open up the hip joint. If the hip is tight, then the knee will take a lot of the tension. So if you're feeling it in the knee, you can release that left foot and stay here and play with that right hip alignment. You can bring the knee forward and back, and that will help to open up that hip joint. And then you can take the knee back in, play around with that, and notice how that feels. You can also tap the left toes down and up to bring some movement and fluidity into that right hip. Take one more breath in, whichever pose you've decided to take. And with the exhale, release your left foot, take your right heel back up, squeeze through the right thigh so you're lengthening through the right heel, and then release the right foot down. Equalize your feet, and when you're ready, left leg goes up, left ankle to the right thigh. You choose which modification feels better for you today. It's always going to change depending on the day, so no expectation, just be where you are. Notice how that left hip feels. You can play around with taking the knee up and down, and notice how that feels into the hip joint. This is also a good abdominal strengthener by doing it this way as well. We're trying to keep the pelvis steady on the mat and no discomfort in that left knee. Take one more big breath in. Exhale and lower the right foot. Take your left heel back up to the ceiling and straighten the leg as much as you can. So we're opening the back of the knee. Take one more breath in. Exhale, lower through, left knee comes down and hands go behind the knees. Coming up to seated and taking your left ankle to cross under the right. So we can stay here, or if you'd like, you can take your right ankle on top of the left knee. This is pretty intense movement, so you don't need to do it if it doesn't feel good. Opening up that same hip that we were doing on the back, so it's a little bit more intense. If you want, you can start to fold forward. You're still in your cross-seated position, or intensify it by taking the ankle up a little bit. One is not better than the other. Don't force it. Breath in, come up. Take your right leg out as far as you can get it. Lengthen your spine. Your left foot stays inside the right thigh. Right hand reaches for the right foot, or you can take the hand in front of your right thigh or shin. Left arm comes up and start to side bend to the right. Keep your left hip pressing down and turn your chin towards your left armpit, lengthening through the crown. Use that right hand to help steady you and keep breathing through. And let's come back up to neutral. Release the hand, crossing the right ankle under the left. Stay here with your spine. You can take your left ankle onto your right knee if you'd like more intensity, and start to fold if you need more intensity here. Notice that left hip. We're trying to soften through that left hip, equalizing the pelvis, equalizing the breath, moving through the ribs. Next inhale, coming up, and take your left leg out to the left as far as you can get it. Right foot tucks into the left thigh, left hand comes down beside the left leg, and the right arm comes up. Side bend to the left. Try not to arch your back. So a lot of times if there's a limited mobility of side bending, the tendency is unknowingly to arch the back or round the back. So think instead that you've got the back of the body pressed up against the wall behind you, your head in line with the back. Big inhale into that right side. Exhale, use your abdominals to take yourself back up to center. And let's take the legs straight forward on and lying on the back. The left leg will stay straight. The right knee comes into the chest. Right arm goes out to the right and the left hand on the right knee. As you turn, the right knee goes to the left and the gaze goes to the right. We're trying to open up the hip. We're opening up the spine, but don't force this. That left knee or right knee may not touch down. Doesn't matter. And really exaggerate your breath, moving through that right lung. And coming back to neutral. Right leg long, left knee comes in. Taking the knee over right, using the right hand to help bring the knee towards the floor, but it's not going to touch and it doesn't matter. Gaze into the left thumb. Breathe into the left side. Inhale, coming back to center. Take both knees into the chest, forehead to the knees. As your hands are on the shins, draw it in close to you. Big breath in. Exhale to release, taking your head down and lengthen the arms and legs, moving into Shavasana. This posture is so that you can absorb and assimilate all of the effort and energy that you have put and manifested from your practice. Allow yourself into the mat, continuing to relax with every breath. Start to move, wiggle the fingers and the toes, circle the wrists and ankles, and smile. Bring your knees into your chest, onto one side, and make your way up to seated. Bringing your hands to your heart center. Closing the eyes. At the beginning of the practice, we set our intention of a goal for today. Remind yourself of that goal now. Believe in yourself. The true way to success is by faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your abilities, and faith in the universe that is bringing these things to you. Big smile. Thank you so much for sharing your energy. Namaste. Thank you, guys. Let me know what you thought of that. You guys are Have a great day. If you have any questions about any of that, please let me know. You guys are awesome. And we're doing another yoga at the river this Friday at 7. It's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful day. And then again at 11:30 on Sunday morning. So if you can make it, I would love for you to be there. Have a great day. I love you guys.